Not sure if you want to invest in an airbrush? Is it going to be right for you? We're going to talk about that today. If you've seen my paintings where I use the airbrush to get special effects like rays of light, bokeh backgrounds, anything soft, smoky, all of these looks I do with the airbrush when I'm painting in acrylics. It can be done with traditional brushwork, so much easier, so much faster with the airbrush. It has a very unique look, and if that's a look that you like, I would recommend investing in the airbrush. So which one do you get? Do you go with the more expensive complete setup that's going to last you years and years and years? I just answered your question. Or do you want to get the cheapy ones and see if it's something that you enjoy? Here's the thing you need to know about a lot of the cheap setups you'll see on eBay or Amazon that are, $80, $100 for the whole complete setup, including the air compressor. They don't usually last very long. They break very quickly, and they don't usually have replacement parts. That's a big deal. Using the higher quality brands, Tamiya, Grex, those are all brands that I've used. You can get parts for them very, very easily. They're not terribly expensive. So, compared to replacing the entire airbrush. So I don't like those cheaper setups because that's an $80 or $100 or whatever it is that you could put towards the nice setup. And yeah, the full setup is quite an investment. It usually runs most people about $500 to get an airbrush, to get an air compressor, to get the paint, to get all of the stuff that you need to get started. So it is an investment. It's worth saving up for if you like the look of those special effects. Here's the other thing. You may be thinking, well, how do I know? I may not be good at it. I may just not like it. The special effects sort of things, rays of light, out of focus, those are the easiest things you can do with an airbrush. That's something that you're going to be doing day one. Why is this clogged?
Oh yeah, I used your airbrush last night.
Did you clean it after?
I'm not your maid. It's air, why would I clean it? If you didn't want me to use it, you shouldn't have left it out. I thought you liked cleaning.
Let's take a look at how easy doing an out of focus background like this really is. I'm starting by getting this loose look in the background. It's supposed to look kind of like palm trees. We're going for a jungle look here. It doesn't have to look good, and it's not going to look good, especially not in the beginning. This is definitely one of those cases where you want to layer until it looks good. So I'm just using a neutral gray here, and once I get that in, I'm going to take white paint and go right on top. And I'm using Golden's airbrush paint, definitely my favorite airbrush paint here. Now it looks like because this is sped up that I'm just wiggling my hand all over the place. That is not how this is working. You do want to be more controlled with this. The other thing I want to point out is it will often look like I'm coming at the canvas at an angle. I'm not. I'm always at well, I guess that 90 degree is an angle, but I'm always at a 90-degree angle to the canvas, because if you're coming at it from the side, you're going to get effects that are not what we're going for here. So I'm taking that white, and look how it softens up that tree in the background. It looks like it's just out in the mist, which is perfect for my jungle look. Now, one of the biggest challenges you are likely to have when using an airbrush is having the airbrush clog. This usually happens from not cleaning it well after each use, but it can also happen if you're using a paint that is the wrong type of paint for the size needle you're using. Createx, which is a very common paint sold in a lot of stores or hobby stores, is one that works better if you're using a 0.5 or larger needle. If you're using a 0.3, which I'm using here, it's just going to keep clogging. And it's not that Createx isn't good, it's just the wrong paint for a lot of the smaller needles. So that's something you want to be aware of. The other thing that you can do if you are having it clog on you is use a little bit of a flow improver. There's one that I love. I will put that in the Wow, I can't talk. I will put that in the video description as well. Check that out. I put a couple of drops in before my paint, and it makes a huge difference in keeping the airbrush from clogging. Now, as I go through here, look how I just build up. They're just dots, different size dots. Now, while I do mention using dots, having variation and having them overlap is very, very important. We don't just want random polka dots everywhere. And these different size dots are how I do most of my out of focus backgrounds. I will have areas like this with the palm trees where they're a little bit more defined, but for the most, or not just dots, but for the most part, just building up dots. And this is the other big thing. When you're doing something like this, it has to be built up in many, many layers. This isn't one of those things where I find just put the right color in the right place, like paint by number style. That doesn't usually come out looking as good. I really like the effect I get when I build up. So I started with gray, then I added some sap green, added white over that. Then I came back with some black and then added that brighter green on top. Now I'm using white, breaking that up, and I'll just keep going back and forth with different colors. And the point is not to just cover everything with one green and then everything with a different green. I want all of them showing in various areas, but I find that when I layer like this, it gives me a very natural look. Now, if you don't have an airbrush, you can get a very similar look. I have a video for students over on Patreon where I show you how to do something kind of like that without an airbrush. It's not going to be exact, but you can get close. It's a lot more work, a lot more difficult, but it can be done. So don't feel like you can't have fun doing something like this if you don't have an airbrush. And in this specific video over on Patreon, I do have links to more of my lessons where I am doing different out of focus backgrounds without that airbrush. So again, don't feel like you're left out if you don't have an airbrush or you just want to do the whole thing with traditional work. Again, coming back through, softening some of this up. More dots. Now that the background is finished, I'm going to go ahead and draw out my toucan and paint that in. So I'm starting with a plum color. I'm just going to get a base layer here. Nothing needs to be perfect. Just like with the background, we're going to build up in layers. And that's something that if you watch any of my videos, you're going to see all of the paintings. It's just a layering process. You want to get out of the idea of just put the right color in the right place. It's layer until it looks good would be a better mantra to keep. So I'm doing a little bit of blending, not much, because nothing here really matters. I do want to keep my edges clean. Now, if you screw up when you're, let's say, blending out the beak or on the bird, and some of that color gets onto the background that you just put so much work into, do not panic. All you're going to do is take a brush that is wet with just water, clean water, and wipe that area off that you messed up. Now, that will only work if you catch the mistake while the mistake is still wet. Once it dries, you're just going to have to paint over it and try to hide it. But if you catch a mistake like that, you blend out into your background, just a wet brush, wipe it off. That will work like an eraser. It might take a couple of times going at it to get it all the way clean, but I did that on several areas of this painting and you can't tell. Just mapping stuff out. Again, I want clean edges, but I don't really care if the colors are correct, if details, nothing like that matters right now. Just get paint on the canvas. Remember when you're painting in acrylics, there's nothing you can really do that can't be fixed. So don't be afraid of making a mistake. That's something that holds a lot of artists back. They're so worried about messing up. You can fix it. You can paint over it. Just layer until it looks good. So now I'm going to come through and start working on my values. You only have a little bit of shading on this guy. Their feathers are super, super dense, very sleek. You're not going to see the fluff like you would on, let's say, an owl. And you'll often see on a lot of these videos where I say it takes 2 weeks of work or a month of work. It's sped up so it seems like it's shorter. No, this one really is short. This is about a single night's worth of work. So this is something that can be done very quickly, and especially because of that airbrush. That's a huge reason that this goes so fast. An out of focus background is so easy to do. And it gives your subject this great three-dimensional look. Look how this bird is just popping out from that background. You feel like you could just reach in and pet him. He may not let you though. A few highlights, and then I will glaze over that. Lots of glazing. If you're unfamiliar with glazing, it's just where I'm taking translucent paint and thinning it down with a bit of water and then kind of washing that over my previous layers to tint the color. I've got to dry the previous layers completely first. So there I just glazed some yellow right on top of those previous highlights, and I took that over the white and over the darker red areas. It gives you this really nice glow because of the way that the light will refract through each of those layers. And that's one of the things I like so much about layering this way versus just that paint by number, put the right color in the right place style. This gives you so much more depth because of how the light is going to refract through each of those layers. See how I keep taking the hairdryer and drying it in between. If it's not completely dry, not just dry to the touch, but dry, and you glaze over that, it may lift off your previous layers and it's not cute. Not a look you want to go for. So when you are glazing, make sure those previous layers are totally, totally dry. Again, just glazing, little bit of tint, that tint of reddish purple there. Few last details. We are almost done. A common complaint about acrylic paints is that when they dry, they're too flat or that the color shifts. The color rarely shifts. If you're using a decent paint anyway, like Goldens or Liquitex, I really don't experience much in the way of color shifting with the exception of some turquoise or teals. Most colors in acrylics aren't shifting. What happens though is that they dry flat, or many of them anyway, the ones that I do dry flat. And so it may appear like it's shifted, but when you put a varnish on it, if you put a gloss varnish on it, that paint's going to look just like it did when it was wet. So the one that I use is the Liquitex High Gloss Varnish. I'll put a layer of it on. I usually use this sponge brush to apply the varnish, let it dry completely for about, I think it's 2 hours. It'll tell you on the bottle, but let it dry completely and then put another coat. I will do anywhere between 2 and 3 coats of varnish to get that really, really pretty high gloss. Also notice that I painted the edges of the canvas. I continued what was on the front of the canvas around the edge. Now, I used to always paint my edges just a solid black or solid color that was close to the canvas color itself. I find that it looks much, much more complete if you just take a few extra minutes and continue that painting around the edge of the canvas. That way, when your buyer gets it, they can hang it exactly like it is without a frame if they don't want to frame it, and it will look very, very polished, very finished. Whereas the solid color, it just feels a bit more incomplete. Now, if they're going to frame it, it doesn't really matter one way or another, but I just like the presentation of having the edges complete all the way around the edge. So for me, that is something that I've started doing on all of my paintings. If you want to know more about airbrushes, check out this video here.
I thought you liked cleaning.